The idea behind the Atlantic rowing race is to be the first to cross the Atlantic via a rowing boat.
The Atlantic rowing race is the toughest ocean rowing race in the world.
Rowing from La Gomera in the Canaries to Antigua in the Caribbean. Obviously it's a race, so the idea is to get across as fast as you can.
What was the training like? Well, I did a lot of weight training, so I waited till we started to train.
The training was fairly intense. For about a year beforehand, I was training with Glyn once he got involved. We were training for about a year beforehand, going to the gym most mornings, 6 o'clock every morning.
Certainly I felt pretty isolated up in Scotland. The other 2 or 3 of the crew were down in Reading or Bristol at one time in Birmingham, so they were all within a car drive journey of each other, whereas I was a plane ride away or a 6-7 hour journey.
Looking back, the training seems to be the thing that I miss most. Although it was very tough. We were getting up at 6 o'clock every morning to go to the gym, working quite hard to condition ourselves. I felt a twinge in my back. I don't know what happened. I think it perhaps may have been overtraining. And we went out and rowed on the Solent for 19 hours. I knew my back was aching, and during the course of that I started to get in real discomfort.
Okay, here we are. This is the first time the crew has been out, really. So there's Glyn rowing away through the hatch.
I went to A&E and got some muscle relaxants, which basically knocked me out for about 3 days, and then had to undergo a course of physiotherapy for about 8 weeks, for about 4 or 5 weeks, to put it right. And I basically strained a couple of the bones in my a couple of vertebrae. The muscles attached to the vertebrae, put me out of training for about a month.
Physically, I tended to be injured most of the time, I think. From knee injuries, from recovering from a shoulder that got strong, then I hurt my knee, and back injuries. Possibly training too hard too often.
One time holding on to something if I were you. Brace, brace, brace. Secure. Dave, you can sit. You'll sit forward. Look at that second pipe. Yeah. I can't close this, I've got the rope in the way.
Well, surfing the boat is critical to you can really make some amount of distance if you can surf the boat every 10 minutes. You know, you're going from 3 knots up to 10 knots, say, at a time. And on board we had a bit of a competition to see who could surf the boat quickest, and it varied from, I think it was 8 knots was our first record, and then it went through to 10, 12, 15 knots, and each pair were taking over each other. And then eventually on the last day, myself and Glyn managed to get the boat up to 18 knots, which was fairly scary. When we finished going down the wave, we'd always check the GPS quite quickly to see how fast we'd gone, and it was there for everyone to see at 18 knots, which is faster than I think any other rowing motion boat has ever gone. So it's a good record to have.